Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending this morning's webinar. You all will be muted to limit background noise. There will be a Q&A session at the end of this presentation. And so please, you'll be typing in your questions utilizing the Q&A feature. And also would like to mention that this webinar will be recorded and available with captioning within a day or two in the on-demand section of our io.ucla.edu/globe page. My name is Robert Rodriguez, and I'm the advisor for EEP programs in Korea and Japan. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Who we are. The IEO is the one-stop shop for undergraduate study abroad opportunities. At our office, you can consult with the study abroad advisors, coordinators, and we can connect you with peers who have studied abroad themselves. Today, I will be leading this Study Abroad in Korea and Japan webinar as part of our Global Learning Opportunities Week, during which we are showcasing a number of study abroad related resources and unique opportunities, as well as funding for study abroad. This session is being recorded and will be available on our demand session as previously mentioned. Here's a quick overview of what will be covered, ranging from COVID-19 to Study Abroad 101 refreshers, and then getting into the study abroad options in Korea and Japan, highlighting a sample program and a Q&A with a study abroad returnee. You may be wondering about COVID-19's impact on study abroad, and that is something that we would like to highlight right away. As of now, study abroad options starting for the summer of 2021 and beyond are scheduled to run. The UCLA IEO, along with its partners like UCAP, are monitoring worldwide events continuously. On our website, you will find information regarding COVID-19, including an FAQ, which is updated on a consistent basis. Due to the impact of COVID-19, the UCLA IEO is sensitive to student timelines, considerate of go, no-go decisions, and limited double enrollments for programs during the academic year. Students enrolling in UCEAP programs during the academic year can maintain their UCLA enrollments for the term they plan to study abroad for an extended period. In addition, virtual alternatives for select programs are being developed by coordinators here at our office for UCLA faculty-led programs. Also, flexibility and patience is not only required, but it's appreciated. We're working in an ever-changing environment. More than ever, students who desire to study abroad in the near future will need to be flexible as factors outside of our control may change plans unexpectedly. Finally, we would like to encourage you to renew or apply for a passport as soon as possible. We know the U.S. Department of State has an extensive backlog of passport applications. It is currently taking longer than their usual 6 to 8 weeks processing window. We strongly encourage students who can to apply or renew their passport now or as soon as possible to ensure they have a passport in a timely manner. A handful of programs will require students to secure a student or visitor visa before departure to enter certain countries. This may require students to have a passport well before their departure date. This information is for U.S. citizens traveling with American passports, but similar delays may be occurring with your nationality's passport processing offices. Now we will begin to highlight some Study Abroad 101 refreshers. We've asked participants to first view our Study Abroad 101 webinar. We hope that that's the case with most folks in this webinar. This session is intended to complement the 101 webinar from a topic-specific focus. If you missed it, please do look over that recording on our GLOW website. But here are just a few refreshers. In the 101, we cover topics like types of different programs available to UCLA students, how credits transfer to UCLA, satisfying requirements, the cost of these programs, and funding opportunities like financial aid. In addition to funding opportunities, the application process and timeline. Complementing the 101, this session is region specific and will cover Korea and Japan. We will highlight specific programs that meet the theme of our session, share some returning advice, and conclude with a Q&A session. Financial aid. Eligible students can use the UCLA financial aid to cover the cost of UC-affiliated study abroad programs. Award amounts may be made up of grants, loans, and scholarships. Some grant funding is limited for summer programs. Generally, must take a minimum of 8 units to meet financial aid requirements. When to apply? As early as 9 months before the start of the program. Is it competitive? Most programs are first come, first served. Can I apply now? Yes, for summer and fall programs, you may begin to apply. The winter programs application will open during the winter quarter. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for. We'll now be getting into the study abroad programs in Korea and Japan. Programs in Korea, we have 3 options. 2 out of the 3 are at Yonsei University. The very first is called exactly just that, Yonsei University, which offers a fall, spring, and year option. The second option at Yonsei is called Seoul Summer. Title is self-explanatory. It is offered only during the summer. The third option, which is a brand new program, Seoul National University, SNU. This program is offered during the fall and spring semester only. It does not offer a summer and it does not offer a year option. For each term, fall and spring, it's capped at 2 spots each. And these spots are given on a first come, first served basis. When visiting the UCEP website, you will be able to view these 3 options. As you can see, each program will have its own individual box. Within each box, you will be able to confirm the eligibility requirements, if any language prereqs apply, and also the required class level, among other topics. Once you click on any of these 3 boxes, you will be able to learn more details about each program. For example, you will be able to confirm the type of housing that's available. Not every program will offer the same type of housing. One program may offer dorm option only, and another may offer dorm, university apartment, and homestay. In addition to confirming housing opportunities, you will be able to confirm what other features are available within these programs. For example, Yonsei, summer, and fall and spring will offer internship opportunities. These internships are not built into the program. This is something you will have to add on to the program. Information on how to begin this process is within each individual program page for these programs. Also, Yonsei offers optional Korean language study, where SNU does not offer Korean language study. And at the moment, it does not offer internship opportunities. This is a brand new program, as I previously mentioned. So moving forward, I'm hopeful that additional opportunities like internships will be available at SNU. Yonsei also offers volunteer and, as I previously mentioned, internship opportunities. These are just a few examples. If you wish to volunteer at the local hospital, that is a possibility, specifically at the cancer center. The hospital offers a limited number of spots, so if this is something that you're interested in, then please reach out to our office to learn more. You may be thinking, what kind of internship opportunities are available? As you can see, there are 4 examples, ranging from game and publishing companies to PR companies. Please be flexible with internship placements, as your top choice may not be available, but the next best thing will be available. Now, we'll be getting into programs in Japan. Japan offers a variety of different programs. As you saw, Korea offers 3 different options, where Japan offers 11 different programs. Most will have multiple term options. For example, you may have a program that offers fall, spring, summer, and a year option, whereas another few of these programs will offer one option. One of these options I can think of is Yonsei University. It only offers a year-long option. The eligibility requirements will vary from program to program, consisting of a minimum GPA requirement, class level, and a select number of these few will have a language prereq. The deadlines will vary for each program due to the multiple term options. The same applies to Korea, where the eligibility requirements will vary along with the deadlines. Japan is also home to many of our limited space programs, a total of 6 to be exact. Most of these options are providing spots on a first come, first served basis. There are only 2 options within Japan in the summer that are not first come, first served. And these 2 options are the STEM research programs in Osaka and Tokyo. Since these programs are not first come, first served, a personal statement is now part of the application process. So if this is a program that you're interested in, please take your time to develop your personal statement. You may, as long as you submit the application on or before the deadline, it will be reviewed with all other applications. Also, Japan is also home to 3 language programs. Japanese in Osaka, offered during the summer. Japanese in Tokyo at ICU, also offered during the summer. And Japanese in Kyoto at Yonsei University, which is offered during the spring semester. This is an example of what you will see when selecting a specific program. As you previously saw on one of our previous slides, you saw multiple boxes for multiple programs. So this is what it looks like when you click on one of those boxes. You will view information only for that specific program. You'll be able to confirm the eligibility requirements, which includes class level and GPA, and it will tell you the language the courses are taught in. It's English and Japanese. Most programs in Korea and Japan are taught in English. Some will have the option to select English or Japanese. And another few, specifically the language programs, will be taught in Japanese. As you can see also on this page, to the left, there are tabs where you can learn more about these programs, ranging from housing, the cost, which will be an estimate, academics, dates, and eligibility. When viewing the dates, you will notice a range of dates, which will consist of 1 month to the next type of range. Once the official dates are confirmed, the website will be updated to reflect that, and that will happen obviously long before you depart for your program. So now, you know what programs, you know the names of the host universities in Korea. Now I'm providing you with a list of host universities in Japan. Meiji Gakuen, Tohoku, Hitotsubashi, ICU, Osaka, Keio, University of Tokyo, and Waseda. Sometimes I get the question, what program is best fit for me? Well, you have to ask yourself, what academic goals are you looking to complete? Not every program will have what you're looking for, which is why it's important to explore these different program options in order to locate what you're looking for, which we'll get into more detail as we move along. Also, I would like to highlight a new program, a global internship program, specifically for engineering, located in Osaka. This is a summer option. The internships are for academic credit and are unpaid. Registration opens November 2nd. A $200 deposit is required to secure a spot, and the program length is 8 weeks. To learn more about this program, you can visit our website, io.ucla.edu, or you can reach out to our office to learn about this option. Another new program I would like to plug is in Korea. A virtual option is being created for by travel study staff. At the moment, we do not have further updates, but please be on the lookout for the UCLA Summer Travel Study virtual option in Korea. Our website will soon reflect this option, and you'll have access to learning more about this program. I also would like to highlight other highlights in Korea and Japan. Korea, they do a great job of planning activities for the students. These are just a few options. It's a great way to meet fellow participants, a great way to learn more about the campus, and it's a great icebreaker. The same is offered in Japan. Music festivals, offering the best study abroad programs for STEM. If you're into the outdoors, there are some very nice surfing spots out there. And also, the Summer Olympics will be there in 2021. So participating in a summer program and being around for the Olympics, can make a nice combination. Now we'll be getting to the academic section. Studying abroad outside of major. You're not required or obligated to study abroad within your major. You can take GEs, minor requirements, fulfill foreign language requirement, or maybe you're looking for some professional personal development. There are students that go abroad to take language courses, not necessarily to fulfill language requirement, but more for personal professional development. Anything you take through EAP or any of our other study abroad options, including the Global Internship Program, will be credit bearing. All of our programs are credit bearing, meaning these units, grades, will transfer back to UCLA. Also would like to add, most programs are not designed around your major. You basically create your own study list. You build your study list based on the academic goals you have for yourself. You can expand your search and beyond for major programs. Again, you can use the filter system to filter out programs based on subject area. For example, if you click sociology, you will get a list of programs that offer sociology courses. This now brings us to the word of the day, which is cenote. And this word is given to you as part of the Global Learning Opportunities Week word scavenger hunt. So you visit our website to submit this word for a chance to win a $75 gift card. Recommend doing this as soon as possible, as this is a very popular activity, and many students will be submitting the word of the day for a chance to secure a $75 gift card. This scavenger hunt is going on all week, all through Glow Week. So we would encourage you to continue to visit our sessions throughout the week for not only to learn about study abroad, but also to secure a gift card. Now, we'll begin to highlight a sample program. This program is a UC EAP program. I'm highlighting Yonsei University, and I wanted to highlight something that offers multiple terms, as this program does: fall, spring, and year. Within each term, you will find a range of dates, specifically a time frame of when you can expect to be abroad for each term. Potential credit you may earn are major, minor, GE, and language requirements. Other highlights including internships and volunteer opportunities. I listed a few sample subject areas. You have ranging from poli-sci, sociology, econ, psychology, philosophy, film and media studies. These are just a few. So please explore these options, learn about Korea and Japan, and see what it has to offer when it comes to you developing your academic goals. Now, I would like to welcome Montana Epps. She's a recent UCLA graduate from the class of 2019 and also an EAP alum. She's a recent participant of the Yonsei University Seoul Summer Program. Please welcome Montana Epps.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Robert, for that introduction. Yes, my name is Montana Epps. I use she, her pronouns. I graduated from UCLA last year, which feels like so long ago, but also not that long ago. And I did the EAP program at Yonsei in 2018, the summer of 2018. So I did the summer program. And it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. I'm actually currently earning my master's degree in higher education counseling and student affairs at Cal Poly. But prior to applying to grad school, I actually considered going back to Seoul for a year or two to teach English because I loved it that much. It was hands down, again, just one of the best experiences that I had. Every time I tell people that I studied abroad in South Korea and I went to Yonsei, they're very impressed and very excited. It's a very well-known school and community. And yeah, it was just, I did study for that. And so I actually hadn't done a UCEAP program before. And my intention with doing the UCEAP program was actually more for professional reasons. I know a lot of people go abroad for academic purposes and try to get course credit for the classes that they take. I actually went abroad with the intention of pursuing a career in international education. And I wanted to do study abroad advising. And so I went abroad with the intention of getting more experience studying abroad so I could use that in my profession. However, I did take a class that counted for my major, which I had a conversation with my academic counselor before leaving. I was a history major, and so I took a history class and got credit for that. And then I also took a Korean film class and a media and society class, which was very interesting. It was just so fascinating to learn about Korean culture and just the relationships that they have with the United States in those classes. So I ended up not getting course credit for either of the film or media class, but it was just great to add extra units for graduation requirements. And then I did not do an internship and I did not take foreign language, but I do have friends and classmates who did. So if any of you have questions about that, I can probably generally answer some questions about those. In regards to like advice or just things that I learned from the program, I would recommend having an open mind, not necessarily in regards to this UCEAP program, but when I went abroad the first time, I was actually a pre-med student and I did not enjoy it. I did not want to be pre-med anymore. And I was going abroad for my foreign language and I studied abroad in Spain. And I just, through that experience studying abroad, my perspective completely shifted, you know, what my purpose was and what I wanted to do with my life. And so I highly encourage you going into any study abroad experience, no matter where you go, just have an open mind and be open to new opportunities. Simultaneously, when I came back, I started working at the IEO as a peer advisor, and that's kind of how I found my passion for higher education. And then through studying abroad, I found my passion for history. And so I became a history major. And then consequently kind of went on this program and got a class for my history degree. But yeah, I would just encourage you to have an open mind, be open to new experiences. I can't even begin to tell you all of the wonderful and amazing things UCEAP has, like program, the cool things that I got to do, like hiking in the mountains. And it was a big priority. And so I would encourage you to apply to as many scholarships as you can, working, saving money, just kind of doing whatever you can in order to prepare yourself to study abroad, but definitely be applying to scholarships, because I didn't do that as much as I should have, because I didn't even realize some of the scholarships that were out there. So I definitely encourage you to utilize your resources at the IEO, and then also just utilizing Google and just search for different scholarships that you might qualify for. If you have a specific identity that you hold, whether that's being an international student, or have a racial minority, or gender, like non-binary student. I mean, there are so many different types of scholarships out there for students that have different identities. So I definitely recommend applying for scholarships, because that's something that I didn't do, especially for my first program, but I think would have benefited me in the long run. However, if you end up taking out a loan to study abroad, especially if you do like a year program or a semester program, the longer ones that are typically a little bit more expensive, it will be the best loan that you take out. I guarantee you. Studying abroad was probably, like I said, I could talk about it for hours and sound like a broken record, but it was definitely one of the best experiences that I ever had. And that's why I continue to travel today, because I think that traveling and studying abroad is one of the best educations that you can get. Instead of just, sitting in like the 10th row of a lecture hall, you're walking the streets and meeting locals and learning about the culture and the history. And I think that that is, you can't put a price on that kind of experience. And I'll stop there, because like I said, I could keep talking. So if anybody has questions, I don't mind answering them either.
Thank you so much, Montana. We really appreciate your time to be available to provide some valuable insight and experience with our fellow Bruins.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
we would like for questions.
Hello, yes, we have some questions that came in. The first one is, how many classes do we take for each term in fall and or summer?
For each term, semester programs, a minimum of 4 classes to be considered full-time. For summer, about 3 classes. If you wish to go beyond the minimum, we encourage you to have that discussion with us beforehand. But to answer your question, yes, 4 per semester and 3 for summer.
Great. Our next question is, because of the research opportunities in Japan, will there be requirements or prerequisites to apply?
Well, the requirements will consist of the eligibility requirements, minimum GPA, and class level, and the personal statement. The personal statement can be written any way. There is no template for that. You may talk about how this research program how does it help you with your interest, academic interests, or future research aspirations. There's no way to really put it together. It's really each individual coming up with their own personal statement. But I would encourage you to start working on it and not wait until the last minute.
Great. Could you talk more about the internship process at Yonsei?
The internship process is a process where you're pretty much independent in creating and adding the internship. You will work closely with the Yonsei Center, which will be involved in helping you develop its internship opportunity. Some of these internships will require you to speak fluent Korean, so that's something that you will need to keep in mind. But then you may have to update your resume. You may be interviewed as well via Skype or Zoom. So I would encourage you to reach out to the UCLA Career Center that provides services in reviewing resumes for feedback and setting up mock interviews.
Great. Can transfer students apply for study abroad twice?
Yes, transfer students can study abroad. Let's say, for example, if you do not have a GPA at this very moment, you can apply and entering your community college GPA. Then after the fall, once you've established a UCLA GPA, you can provide an updated transcript and we can enter your UCLA GPA. As far as applying twice, you do have a unit max of 56 that you can take abroad and bring back to UCLA. This is about 3 different programs. Again, it requires a lot of planning, a lot of conversations with your academic counselors, with our office, but participating in more than one study abroad program is a possibility.
Great. We'll take a few more questions. I know, yeah, we have a couple more minutes. I'm a Korean citizen but have permanent residence card in the US. Am I still able to apply for the Korea Study Abroad program? And is it going to be online or in-class courses?
As of now, all courses will be in person. Regarding your questions around eligibility, the passport information, and so on, because of COVID and this fluid situation and policies are changing, I would say submit that question via email to our office so we can double check and we can give you a straight answer regarding that. And this is only because policies and processes have changed due to COVID, and we want to make sure that we get you the right information.
Are there language requirements for some of the programs?
Very few number of programs will have a language prereq. When viewing an individual program, you will be able to confirm by looking at the eligibility requirements box or the tab when you click on a program. But to answer your question, most programs will not have a language prereq.
Great. Let me just, I'll choose one more because I believe we're out of time. For the UC EAP application, it asks for current and planned classes for the year. What if you don't have your exact classes planned for next quarter? Does it matter if you submit with just your current courses entered?
You will need to complete each field, as many fields within the UC EAP application are mandatory fields. Some of these fields you will be projecting your study list. If that study list changes after submitting the application, that's fine. It will not impact your application. And we can also update your app if necessary.
Great. If we didn't get to some of your questions, please join. You can feel free to email our office, and we have advisors that will be able to assist you, and we have drop-in advising as well. And if you'd like to reach out to Montana to ask, about her experience, you're more than welcome to as well.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put
also, please make sure to join
in the chat.
Our... So here's our contact information. We have virtual advising available. And if you're interested in any programs in Japan, Korea, you may reach out to me as well. My contact is there on the screen. And also please feel free to follow our social media accounts, where you'll receive updates regarding multiple study abroad options that are available through the IEO.
Robert,
Thank you so much for taking the time.
can you say the keyword for this session again, please?
The keyword is cenote. That's CENOTE.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you all for attending. We really appreciate you taking the time to visit us this morning. Big thank you to Montana for joining us, and Maureen for helping us along this presentation. To visit the GLOW website, where you will find this presentation and several others throughout the week, and to submit the word of the day to win a $75 gift card. Thank you and have a great day.